Welcome to the Lee Michaels Show with Carol and your daily cast of characters, where we discuss the issues of the day, entertainment news, what's really going on in Washington, and the world. Why don't we just hear it from the horse's mouth himself?
We can't have someone in the Oval Office who doesn't understand the meaning of the word confidential or classified. I don't think it's safe to be briefed on national security because the word will get out. I know at some point they're going to want to brief me, but I'm not a talker about this stuff. This is like Watergate, only it's worse. Because here, our foreign enemies were in a position to hack our most sensitive national security secrets.
Of course, it turns out the Russians didn't need to hack Hillary's email server. They were able to hack Trump's mouth.
This is like Watergate, only it's worse.
The Lee Michaels Show on the Power of Voices Radio Network.
Welcome and good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening if you're somewhere in way out there in another way out there in another time zone. Wherever you might be, welcome to the show. Missed you yesterday, out on assignment, but my confidant, fully capable, Maine from Chicago, Chris Bates held it down, and I'm so proud of you. You did a good job. Did a good job. Doing a good job, Brownie. You remember that phrase? I know I'm in a silly mood today, but listen, on the real, I'm in a mode of I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Listen, folks, what do we need to do to convince the rest of the people in the world, or in the United States, more importantly, that this president we have, he's got to go? What else does he need to freaking do and the people around him for you guys to realize he is not in the best interest of this country? What? What does he need to do? Walk down Pennsylvania Avenue and start shooting at people? Well, he said when he was campaigning that, yeah, I could go on Times Square and shoot somebody in the head and you guys will still follow me. Stupid! You are. Because that's exactly what you're doing. If you are still supporting Donald Trump, you are as bad as he is. And I'm just calling it the way it is. He's making a big deal. He's taking on the NBA, the FBI, the CIA, and everybody else. What the is going on? Did somebody beep me? I'm beepable today. I mean, really, what does he need to do next? His son-in-law is a criminal, using his own private cell phone email address to communicate with the White House and 5 or 6 other people in his administration. But you made a big damn deal of Hillary Clinton's email server. Really? What's good for the goose is not good for the gander. Oh, my bad. That's right. Silly me for thinking any other way. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired and wake up every day and this asshole is still in the White House. I said it. That's exactly what he is. He's going to get us in a war. Why? Not because we need to, not because of what somebody else is doing, because he's aggravating this little mental midget over there in North Korea, and this guy's going to box him into a corner where he's going to have to do something. Mark my word, write it down. It is 9/26/17 at 10:06 Pacific time. I said it. I'm claiming it. That's what's going to go down. Kim Jong has already said, you put some more planes over my airspace, they're coming down. Even if they're not, if they're close enough, I'm taking them out. Well, that's called drawing a line in the sand. So now what is our big bully president going to do now? He's going to put somebody up there in the air and then have to take on a hit. My hope is if that goes down, if we put planes up there in his airspace, which disrespects his airspace, by the way. But if we do that, I hope like hell our airplanes have missile-to-air response that we won't lose any lives. And then what do we do then? Respond? Shoot missiles back at them? That's how you start a freaking war. That's probably what's going to happen. Why? Because he needs another distraction to get away from the bullshit that he's trying to pull on the American people. That's it, folks. This health care bill is a disaster. So far, what? 3 Republicans have come out saying, no, I can't go for this. I think that's enough to block it. So what else do we need to do? What else does he need to do to convince you he needs to go? Impeached is not good enough. They need to pack up his crap and send him back to New York and spank his ass all the way back to New York, to this gaudy-ass place he lives in up there. Take you and your worthless family out of here. We don't want you anymore. Bye-bye. I hate opening up the show with a rant, but I have to get it off my chest because the majority of the people that I run into, not the majority, all of the people that I run into, family members, friends, people I don't even know, I don't have to ask for it. They just spill it out. Why? Because it's the top of their minds every freaking day. He should be talking about and going over the top, sending money and support, people resources, technical resources to Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands and the other islands that we have a good relationship with. Maybe this is a time to lay down the sword and embrace and help the people down in Cuba that were devastated from the storm. Isn't that the American way? But no, he would rather sit around and talk about some athletes taking a freaking kneel. Go to hell, Mr. President. That's some petty bull. That in itself will work its way out. It's not about our military. Nobody took a kneel to offend the military. Nobody. It's not about the military, but you and these other nutball whack jobs want to try to mix the two things together. No, we're smarter than the average bear. We see right through your plan. These are the distractions and the bullshit that you pull out of your hat to try to control the narrative. I can't go for that. Hall & Oates did it. Oh, no, I can't go for that. I'm smarter than that. And the people in this country are smarter than that. We're not going to go for that any longer. It's a shame that we have to wait until November 6, 2018 to change our basic elements of government. The House and the Senate needs a major overhaul. We got a bunch of no-doers, naysayers, have it my way because I'm bought and paid for senators and House of Representatives. Got to go. They have to go. Too bad we got to wait that long, because between now and then, this country could be in hell in a handbasket. I pray that you, the American people, get it. I pray the first opportunity we have to vote, that we'll bring about the necessary changes and get rid of these thieves, these people. These senators and House of Representatives have full salaries for the rest of their lives after completing one term. They don't have to pay for student loans. They don't have to pay for insurance. The members that work for these congressional members, the staff people, don't have to worry about paying for student loans, but you do. This is the person that you sent to Washington. Why are they so much better than you? That's the question that you need to ask. Hell praise the senators and the House of Representatives. We'll give you everything, and we will continue to suffer while you screw us. No, folks, that basket is upside down. It's time for a change. If it's good enough for them, it's good enough for you. That's the mindset that you need to have. Hear my cry. I'm sure it's the same as yours. If not, then you are boo-boo the fool. Welcome to the Lee Michaels Show. I'm done. Carol, you have anything to add?
Yeah, when it comes to Puerto Rico, he acts like he doesn't know they're part of, that they're considered Americans. He made a comment because they're in debt, and he said they owe to Wall Street and the banks, which sadly must be dealt with. Food, water, medical are top priorities, but he put the people down. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He's an idiot.
We're in debt too, so what does that mean?
Well, that's the idiot he is. Texas and Florida, he tweeted, are doing great, but Puerto Rico,
bullshit.
He don't even know how to spell Puerto Rico, which was already suffering from broken infrastructure and massive debt, is in deep trouble.
And we knew that, and you haven't put a plan together to fix it.
Well, he's more or less saying they were already in deep trouble. So
listen,
people were furious.
Houston or Texas in general, wherever the hurricane affected those areas, they're not doing fine.
Well, they felt like
That's
he
bull.
was blaming them for this hurricane.
You know, the
That's
people
what
in
people were
Florida,
saying.
the islands, are all suffering still. They're not back on their feet. They're not back in their homes.
Yeah, but Puerto Rico, I think, had a dam that broke, too.
Yeah. They had
So,
no electric. They're flooding still. They're in a bad way.
I'm just saying, when he's talking like this, he made it sound like they brought this misfortune on.
It's their fault. And they owe us money. They owe Wall Street money. And who doesn't? What about you?
If they don't get him out of office, I sent you a video. You should really play it for somebody that lived through the disaster in Japan.
Yep.
And listen to what he says. And
I'll
it
try to
would be
get that
even
up
worse this time because it's more powerful. Even though we're the ones that did that, but they did bomb Pearl Harbor, if I'm correct.
Yeah, absolutely. But see here, folks, what needs to happen is there needs to be more cool, level heads on Pennsylvania Avenue. And we don't have that right now. We got a bully, a thug, a crook, a selfish narcissist in the White House. And that's not what we need. Let me welcome Chris Bass to the show. Chris, what's up?
Hey, what's up? Boom shakalaka. How you doing, everybody? How's everybody feeling outside of the 45 situation? How do you feel?
I feel good.
I feel like my
That's
blood
good.
pressure might be up a little bit.
Yeah, I can tell.
And I don't have blood pressure issues, but I
Well,
really
you don't
get
know that
upset.
because you don't go to doctors.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Nurse Carol in the
Well, I'm
house.
just saying he eats a lot of junk.
I don't eat that much.
Doesn't
I don't
exercise.
eat any more than you do.
I don't eat candy like that.
I don't either. I don't eat that
Well,
candy.
somebody
in
said you must be. I know I didn't eat
there.
all
Well, see,
that candy.
it's easy to blame somebody and you don't see them eat it. There our clients come here every damn day
I
to
wouldn't
eat
have
that
it here.
candy.
He brought donuts, and that was I was like, oh,
And how many
donuts.
did you eat?
I ate two.
Okay.
But I
I
won't
rest
do
my
it
case.
again. No, I
there you
admit
go.
I can't. I couldn't.
And ask me how
resist.
many I ate.
He wouldn't tell the truth. If
One.
He did.
I
Well,
had
where are
one.
they all at?
The clients that night the day that you were here, they ate the rest of them. That was a Tuesday.
I'm just very scared with this president.
Oh, that everybody
if you play
is.
what I sent you to,
Yeah.
you'll understand. Listening to this man
Yeah, I'll try to get that up.
telling you exactly what he lived through,
Yeah,
and he was only a baby.
she's talking about the bombs we dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and the impact that it had on the lives there.
I just
Those
don't know
little
why
islands.
he's making such a big deal about the NFL. Is he
It's a
mad because
distraction.
all those coaches have turned
Yeah,
away
it's a-
from him?
And tell me why doesn't he say something about the neo Nazis and the skinheads and the Ku
That's
Klux
not-
Klan? He's very silent on them. He's I said they're bad. Yeah, but you're gonna criticize a young guy who exercised his constitutional right to take a knee. He didn't put a knee in somebody's throat, in somebody's back. He didn't put a gun to somebody's head. He didn't say piss on the United States of America. And even if he had, that's not any more egregious than some of the racist crap that comes out of your mouth, Mr. President.
Well, let me say this. This type of rhetoric has been in this country since damn near its inception. And from a broadcast perspective, I've been doing this for over 20 years, of course, you're the grand master in all this. And in talk radio in particular, say in the past 20 to 25 years, we've seen someone like Rush Limbaugh take this rhetoric to the airways and just spew it out.
Yep.
After him, of course, became Sean Hannity on the radio. And then we saw the birth of Fox News by Roger Ailes. Roger Ailes was the founder of that. Also, he was the producer and pretty much the money man for Rush Limbaugh when Rush first started in New York. So when you had a type of rhetoric and agenda being pushed all the time, what President Trump is doing, and I hate to call him that, but what 45 is doing has been building up for years. The reason why I'm starting to believe why the process is so slow to get him out of office, not only the fact that you go through judiciary committees and things like that, a lot of people on either side of the aisle believe that what he's doing is all right. Because here's the thing. When you look at, once again, the rhetoric that the right has been doing for years, it's my way or the highway. If you don't like this country, get out, go back where you came from type of rhetoric. So what Trump is doing is taking it to the next level. And they can't come out and actually say it's okay, but it's okay with them. Because this has been building up for years. So you got to figure it was just a matter of time whether with somebody in this situation, the presidency, who just come out and just say it flat out and not go around John's barn. And this whole thing going back to with the NBA and NFL and everything else, once again, it's a plausible diversion of what, I think somewhere in his mind, he pretends, he thinks he's in the role of the presidency, doesn't realize the severity of the whole thing. Oh, I don't know. I think maybe more important things is to concentrate on a possible world war. Eventually comes in and just changes him. He's pissed off so many people. He made Christ come off the cross.
Yep.
I've never seen anybody in my life just causes war or divides with everybody involved. And then, I mentioned this before when I was filling in for everybody yesterday, what is it when trying to get people fired? So for example, let's go back to ESPN's Jemele Hill, who made comments on her personal Twitter account about Trump being a white supremacist and an embarrassment, which he is. He should have every right to type that. And then here comes White House, the press secretary, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, saying that ESPN should, get rid of her, should fire her. And then here comes 45, they should be fired. What is the fire stuff? The thing about it is that it's like, do as I say, don't do as I do.
Exactly.
You can't talk about me. I'm Teflon, I'm nobody, and you're not. So you have to be eradicated for being different from me. The whole thing with the NFL and NBA players coming forward, how in the hell you get pissed off because Steph Curry, the Golden State Warriors, does not want to attend your White House? It's sick behavior. You got other pressing things to talk about in the country. No, you will get pissed off of a basketball player. I'm not saying that doesn't have any credits or credibility. Everybody, of course, embraces Steph Curry. He did solidarity with these players. Your team, Dallas Cowboys, saw Jerry Jones out.
Took the knee. They want to sidestep that and bring in the military and the value of the song. Screw the damn song. We didn't get a damn national anthem until 1931.
Thank you.
And it had to be watered down because the original version of it was not very nice. It was very, very nasty. It even mentioned slaves.
In the national anthem.
Right. No, it wasn't a national anthem at that point. As I understand it. Maybe I'm wrong.
Okay, so before the national anthem, they had those lyrics in there.
Yes,
that I know.
Absolutely.
Right. Yes.
So in order for it to be somewhat acceptable, they had to water it down and edit that. Now, I guess we're supposed to be okay with that, but when you listen to the words of the national anthem, it still does not seem to be very inclusive. And more importantly, once you have studied the history of this song, and understand the reason it came about, the poem, then you take on a different perception of it, a different understanding of it. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's called education. See, when you read books that they wrote, and there's a certain amount of truth in it, and then when you regurgitate that truth, then it becomes painful. Well, we don't want to talk about that. I had nothing to do with that. My ancestors lived through that, but that's not me. Okay, I get that. That's a very nice thing that you're bringing about. But how do you really feel? Now, if I see out there in the lines protesting, then I know where your heart is. If you're doing nothing, that speaks volume.
Well, I've come across this
you tell me to leave this country and go back to where I came from? I came from Norfolk General Hospital in Norfolk, Virginia. Damn it. You want me to go back there? That hospital is no longer in existence. They tore it down.
Right.
I was born here in the United States of America. I'm not going anywhere. I don't need to. I came here against my will, my ancestors. Truth, fact. I'm here. I'm just as much as an American as you. You came from somewhere else too, by the way.
Right.
So when are you leaving? You don't want me here? Okay. Be careful what you ask for. Be real careful. Somebody sent me a video. I got a couple of videos I want to play today. One that Carol sent me, and I got to figure out how to get that over so I can pull it in. And then I got another one here that I got last night. And apparently this thing may have been around for a little while. It's the first time I'm seeing it. But this lady...
Well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So I'll share this quote with everybody because it's very fascinating to me. Now, of all this controversy about the national anthem and everything else, I found this quote: "I cannot stand and sing the anthem. I cannot salute the flag.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I am a black man in a white world." Jackie Robinson said that.
Sure did. Fact.
He said that in his memoir, "I Never Had It Made." And as we know, what's happening back then, it still rings true now. Once I go back to Jackie Robinson, of course, the first black player in Major League Baseball, 3-star athlete at UCLA, served in the military, and also was a registered Republican. And he still felt that being a black man in the white man's world, no matter what he accomplished, did not mean anything at all.
With all his accomplishments in baseball, he was never truly accepted by all.
Too, it's happened to the Native Americans too.
It is.
No matter what they do, or the Latinos and
Absolutely.
the Jewish people. For some reason, he's targeting Jewish people, and it's funny because his son-in-law is Jewish, and his daughter's Jewish now.
Yep, she converted.
But I don't understand it.
Because he's just a pure racist.
I mean, changing the subject a little bit, I think this is a little on the racist with a rapper that came out that's Latin. He's brought out so much hate. She's the first person in 20 years, a rapper, to go #1. But this Azealia Banks is coming in and tripping because she's Latin. Nobody owns rap. But he's bringing out all this hate. He's causing so much hate in this country.
Yeah, he's definitely a spark plug. No question. All right, I want to get to this video, and then we'll come back and chop up some other stuff. But I think this video, it's very educational, number one. It's about 11 minutes long. But we have to listen to the whole thing because this lady goes through telling a real story. And it's so educational that some people are not going to like it. So to all my Republican friends, you nutball whack job Donald Trump supporters that tend to say to people, if you don't like it here, go back from where you came from. Think about that after you hear this message from this lady. Here we go.
All of us aren't as excited and as enthused about the national anthem and the Pledge of Allegiance as other people. I simply wrote an appeal just to get people to understand some of our points of view. Why some of us may feel that the Pledge of Allegiance and the national anthem does not reflect the total history of all of the people who built this country. And then this lady came on my post and said if I didn't like it here, I need to leave. Well, I got this bag here. And then I started thinking, me and my people built this damn country. And I ain't going no damn where. Because you don't really want me to leave, lady. Because if I left this country, you'd be having a whole lot of problems. Do you know just what this place would be like if my people was able to back then to just pack up and leave? You don't really want us to leave. Because if we left, we'd have to put all the agriculture in this country in this bag. Because we cleared these lands. We plowed these fields. We planted and harvested these crops. Restaurants in this bag. Because without us clearing the sugarcane fields, there would be no sugar, no cookies, no cakes, no soda pop, no nothing that was made with sugar. Flour, wheat, corn, nothing. Let me put that in the bag. And then, lady, gosh, no cigarettes. No, because I'm going to have to put open heart surgery. I'm going to have to put that in my bag before I go. And you know what else, lady? You're going to be barefoot as hell when you leave out your house in the morning. Because, let me put them shoes in this bag you got on. Because a black man built a machine that put the soles on the shoes. And going back to that cotton, you don't really think that Eli Whitney was the one that invented the cotton gin, did you? That was the black man. And then, you know what? I'm sorry. You ain't going to have no car wreck. Because although Henry Ford was the first man to manufacture the automobile, he did not create the automobile. The automobile was actually invented by a black man. And as soon as I make sure I'm not giving you the wrong name, I'm going to post all of that. So don't worry about having no car accident in the morning, because if I leave, baby, the car's going with me. The traffic light going with me. And if you have a wreck tomorrow and you get to the hospital and you losing too much blood, Dr. Drew was the man, a black man, who is the reason why you can get a blood transfusion, because he separated the blood from the plasma. Let me go and put that in the bag before I go. I know you on the phone calling your friends. If you're not watching me on your cell phone, cut it off and let me have it. Let me put it in this bag, because the technology that was developed to make the cell phone possible was brought to you by, that's right, none other than a black man. Let me have that peanut butter sandwich that you're eating on, baby. Because, see, Dr. George Washington Carver was the one who found all those uses for the peanut. Go on, let me have that sandwich and put it, there you go. Let me put that in here, okay? Let me have that. Let me have that piece of chicken you're eating, baby, because Colonel Sanders didn't come up with Kentucky Fried Chicken. That was a black woman recipe. Let me have that in the bag. Cut your radio off, baby. What that is, you bobbing your head to some music? Oh, no, darling, let me have that. Let me have the whole radio. Because, see, baby, if it weren't for my people in the blues, there would be no original art forms of music in this country. No jazz, no blues, no soul, no R&B, no rap, no hip-hop, no nothing. Not even gospel. So go on, let me have your radio, all your CDs, your MP3s, all that. Let me have that. Let me see. This bag just about to get full. Oh, what time is it? Oh, come on, baby. Let me have that clock you got, because see, Benjamin Banneker, he helped perfect a lot of the mechanisms that go on inside clocks and help develop timekeeping by stars. He was an astronomer, and he did a whole lot of other things. So come on, baby, let me have that. Come on, let me have that almanac you got too, baby. You don't need to worry about planting no flowers, because I told you about the agriculture. Let me have all that. Put that in the bag. Okay, let me put that in the bag. Okay, then. All right. You said some of your children don't feel well. Oh, well, baby, you out of luck because St. Jude Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee, where children go to get all kind of treatment to get well, a black architect by the last name of Williams, I think, if I'm not mistaken, he designed that. So come on, let me have that too. Uh-huh. Yeah, let me put that in. Anything else now? You sure you want us to leave? Because if we do, how you gonna get stuff where you going, baby? Because it was black men who built the railroad. Yeah, it was. And you gonna be sick because it was black women who created the medicines from the herbs. You say you pregnant? You gotta go see your obstetrician. Oh, baby. Because if we leave, the whole field of obstetrical medicine is going to go with us, because you only got obstetricians because they were taught by the black midwives who were birthing the babies. They only got obstetrics from the midwives before they tried to phase them out. You still want us to leave? You sure? I don't think you want to do that. I really don't. Because you know what? This just one small bag. If I were to pack up all the contributions that my people have made to this country, I'd have a whole entourage of people dragging some big old bags, baby. You don't really want me to leave. You really don't. But I can tell you one thing that I can't pack up and put in this bag, and that's the soil under this feet, under my country, tears of thee. Because, see, this country belongs to me. But the question that you ask, oh my, what a dare. I built this country and I ain't going no damn well. You got to remember now, I can't fit the whole country in this bag because you came over here and tried to steal it from the Native Americans. So if anybody go anywhere, I guess it might need to be you. Because the only thing you brought over here was a prayer, some violence, and a few antiquated ways from the old country that wouldn't last as long as Pat stayed in the army when you got over here. The Native Americans trusted you, and look what happened to them. And when they refused to work this land, you came to the shores of West Africa and you brought my people here. We built this country. The Star-Spangled Banner, oh say can you see, by the dawn's early light, in this place where we're still second-class citizens and not treated too much better than a slave. Good night.
Wow.
You don't really want me to leave.
Can I say
Powerful,
something to that?
huh? Of course.
I don't agree with one thing. She didn't study our history. Yes, my people were made slaves. Native Americans were slaves.
Well, I don't think
They slaughtered our kids.
Of course.
And that, so they were slaves too.
Absolutely.
Irish people were brought over here as slaves.
Well, of course, there were a lot of
White
slaves.
people
brought
have
over.
done some, and not all white people, but
No one is saying
it's just
all.
we all together. We all need to stop this hate. We didn't live back in those days, and we need to try to move on and do just what these football players are doing. They're standing up for themselves.
Absolutely. Well, that's what this lady is doing too.
Yeah.
She's bringing knowledge to those who are uninformed about the contributions of people of color.
Well, there's a lot of things that people have invented, and somebody buys it and they make it look like they invented it.
Of course.
And that's went on for years.
Of course. No, we're not going to debate that. That is a real reality.
It is.
We have a caller on the phone. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Hello?
Okay. I got to call you back. I'm on the other line. I will call you back right away.
Who was that?
I don't know. That
Oh, he's
Is that-
telling someone else.
Okay.
it sounds like my buddy Ryan. We're going to put him on hold for a second. So we have another call on another line. Welcome to the Lee Michaels Show.
Hey everyone,
Hey there. Is that Frankie?
it's Little Frankie.
Little Frankie. Little Frankie, you're on a bad line here. So let me take the other caller, and then when that one's done, call back in. Okay? All right. Thank you, baby girl. Okay, let's go back. Ron, are you there?
I'm here, my friend. I'm here.
All right.
So did you get rid of the other call? We could hear you telling them you'll have to call them back. Or
That must have been a bill collector, right?
Oh, no, you know what? I got it was just a call.
Yeah.
That I didn't expect, and I turned my cell phone off. Thank you.
There you go. There you go. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Well, hey, every time I do this, I'm ahead of the game.
Yeah.
That's wake up.
Yeah, that is true.
You know
I
what
agree
she
with
left out, though? Because they did the same thing with music. They would give songs that a black person wrote to a white person to sing.
She mentioned music.
Oh, I didn't really listen to her. I've heard her before.
Oh, okay. Ron, were you listening? Are you listening to the show, or are you just doing your random call?
No. I wasn't listening to the show. I just called. I just picked up and called, and I wasn't listening to the show, so I'm not familiar with the subject. I just thought about you and figured I'd call.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate you thinking about us and chiming into the show. But what happened was we played a video of a lady who was talking about all the different contributions that people, African Americans, have made to this country in the development of this country, bringing about, all kind of technological advancements from, heart surgery to peanut butter, the whole, everything that, not everything, but she went through a long list. She did about 11 minutes and 22 seconds. Her name is Crystal Lewis, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
And she's from the South. She's an educated woman. And she was responding to someone who told her, if you don't like what's going on, you can leave. And
Is she a black lady or a white lady?
She's a black lady.
Okay.
And she was giving all the reasons why she's not going to leave and all of the contributions that people of color have made, and including the American Indians. So it was a very, very informative piece, and I'm sure it made a lot of people go, oh, wow, I didn't know that. Because a lot of this is just not taught in our schools. Still.
Right. It's not. Well, there's another problem. Not a problem. It's another fact that I've been thinking about for the last 3 or 4 days. And what's going on with our politics today is bringing this kind of stuff right to the front page.
Mm-hmm.
And when I grew up in Chicago, I was thinking about this. And I was talking to this guy yesterday about racism.
Mm-hmm.
Racism is something that we are not going to get rid of in 200 more years. And here's why. Because I grew up in Chicago, and we had Chinese neighborhood. We had 2 black neighborhoods, the West Side and the South Side.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had an Irish neighborhood. We had a Polish neighborhood. We had
Italian
neighborhood,
mm-hmm.
Little Italy,
mm-hmm.
and then we had Jewish neighborhood.
Yep.
And then the neighborhood over there, the Bohemians, where Mayor Daley came from,
right.
over there on the southwest
side
of the
yep.
city.
That's true.
And so there was a nickname there's a couple of nicknames that's associated with Chicago, and that's Windy City. There's no question about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one was, when I was coming up, City of Neighborhoods, because all of these people, like I just described,
yep.
now, if you wanted some pizza and you wanted some Italian food, you go over there in Little Italy, you're going to get
right.
the best they make, okay?
That's right.
If you want some soul food, you come over there on the south side and go to Gladys's, partner. You're going to have the best soul food you can make.
Gladys's. I forgot about Gladys's. You're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you go over there in the Jewish neighborhood where them delis was.
Yep.
And,
Yep. Get you a good corned beef sandwich.
Oh, man.
Or roast
lox
beef.
And bagels
Lox and
stuff
bagels. Yeah.
Oh, man. So all of these different neighborhoods had different values,
mm-hmm.
but they also had different cultures.
That is true.
They had different cultures, so they thought differently from other people. So when you think about this, and I didn't get this, Lee Michaels, until I left we left out of the country.
Mm-hmm.
In 1975, the first time I left out the country, I went to Japan with Earth, Wind, and Fire. And because there's nobody in Earth, Wind, and Fire like Stevie Wonder, Prince, so walking down the street, once you off the stage and out of
mm-hmm.
uniform, ain't nobody recognizing you, right?
Right.
We were over there for 3 weeks. I'm telling you, those people were so nice to us. They were so open and nice and fair and just, accommodating and stuff.
Why?
Why? Because that's the way they are. That's their culture. That's how they. And now check this: in Chicago, we didn't have no Japanese back then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no Japanese. I'm getting to this point. Watch this point. So now I get on the plane coming back home, and I said to myself, "Why, you stupid ass! Here you are.
Mm-hmm.
You hate Japanese, and you never met one of them."
Mm.
And now you go over there, and they're some of the nicest people you ever met in your life.
And they have the right to feel negative towards Americans because, like the Gap band said, we dropped a bomb on you.
Yeah, I
you know
sent
what I
you a
mean?
video about that.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
Right. So when you all I'm saying is all of this whole country right here is only now about 240 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, occupied is only about 340 years old. So that is not a long time. I went to France, I was in the hotel now. I asked the lady, I said, "Ma'am, where's the hood?" She said, "What?" I said, "Where's the hood?" She said, "What is the hood? I don't know what you're talking about." I said, "The black neighborhood." She said, "You're from America, aren't you?" I said, "Yes, ma'am, I am." "Well, we don't have no hood here.
Up in here.
Everybody here is from France.
Right.
We don't have no hood over here."
Right.
So all I'm saying is we got a lot of different concepts and values and cultures in this country that ain't been here long. We ain't been here 15,000 years.
Yep. That's right.
So I think you can look at it negatively and positively, but it is definitely, it's like right now, Trump is, hey man, them people down there in Alabama and Georgia, Tennessee,
Texas, Florida,
oh, they
Louisiana.
happy, boy, they happy because they man is in there.
But listen, they're happy, but if they were affected by those hurricanes, they're not so happy.
Oh, no.
And with all the good that FEMA is doing and the various agencies, American Red Cross with their 16% of their dollar going to any fund, not necessarily all of it is going to the hurricane victims, by the way.
Okay.
They're not doing great.
No,
my
they ain't
my
doing
daughter,
great at all.
my daughter's in Houston, well, outside of Houston, in Richmond.
Is she?
And she's not in her house, okay? And she's not going to be back in her house for almost 4 months.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a while.
So her and her daughters are living in a hotel until the 10th, based on what FEMA is covering. And after the 10th, we don't know what she's going to have to do.
Well, how much water got in their house?
9 inches. And
Well, some people are all the way up to the second floor.
That's more damage. But if 9 inches is going to keep you out of your house for 4 months, imagine if the whole first floor, the first and the second floor was damaged. So
Boy, you ain't had but one floor.
Exactly. Well, her house is a ranch. It's only one floor, but everything that was on the floor, kitchen cabinets, furniture, your beds, her beds are made out of wood. So all of the legs on the bed and the bedding and stuff is all destroyed. They can't go in there. Okay, and with this 50 or 60,000 properties damaged, ain't that many contractors in the world can go in there and fix that overnight.
No, it's gonna take some time.
A long
They're gonna be over there
time.
4 years.
Then let's not even talk about roof damage.
Oh man,
and stuff like that. So it's catastrophic.
Yes, it is.
And for anybody to minimize that is just they're stupid.
Well, you can minimize it if you live in Detroit or Cleveland,
right?
But if you down there in Houston or New Orleans or Miami, boy, you man. Look what happened to Cuba.
Yeah,
not Cuba.
Cuba was messed up too.
Cuba, but that one
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico,
the Virgin Islands, and all of the other islands in that path. Yeah,
those people are
devastated.
Under the gun, buddy.
The Keys down in Key West, all of that was underwater.
Yeah,
you couldn't tell where the land was. There was so much water over it.
Yeah,
those are low-lying areas, below sea level in most cases.
I agree.
It's going to take a long time for those people to get back to any kind of normalcy.
It's going years.
Right. Years.
A long time, and when you say long time, you ain't just talking about 5 years. It's going to be longer than that.
Exactly.
Okay? And honestly...
And listen, they got 8 more potential hurricanes this season, named hurricanes that could be coming our way.
Again?
Yeah. The hurricane season is not over.
Now, this ain't happened.
Okay.
But it ain't been this bad in 50 years. Ain't that right?
Or longer.
Well, I don't think we've set off hydrogen bombs either. I think that has a big part to
It could.
do with everything.
We don't
and
know
the
what we don't know.
eclipse.
We don't know what we don't know.
I mean, just by
Yeah.
what I gave you to watch, it's frightening. This man's sick, this Korean man, but we have a sick person too. And I was reading a story where these parents finally talked about that kid that came back, the auto kid.
Yeah.
It'll
That
make
was
you
horrible.
cry. We never heard the real story.
He's blind. Was
no,
blind.
they were saying how when they got to the plane, they heard this horrible howling.
Yeah.
I mean, this kid was tortured for having a poster.
Yeah.
So Trump wants to mess with this man. He don't care how many millions get killed. He really doesn't.
Yeah.
And
What
Trump
man?
is still the one in North Korea.
The Kim Jong.
Read where I've never heard the real story. They've never told it, but the parents have now.
Yeah.
And what they had to witness to see their child.
Yeah.
It
When he
gave
got
me
off
the
the plane.
chills. They said that we've already even got out. They took him off the plane. They heard this
Screeching
inhumane
sound, yeah.
howling.
Yeah.
It was their son.
Yeah.
His teeth
was
were
blind.
rearranged. They were no longer. His teeth weren't.
Couldn't
it's
hear.
horrible.
And his teeth looked like the parents
Well,
said
they
looked like
said they had to
took
rearrange
pliers to
them.
him. Yeah.
So I think with Trump right now, they got to get this man out of office. He's going to destroy not just this country. That bomb he wants to set will get everybody in its path. And what goes in the air, you watch this video I gave him, it's a survivor from
Yeah,
years
we're gonna
ago
get to
when
that.
we set that bomb
We're
off.
going to get to that. So,
And bombs are much stronger now.
Absolutely.
So you can imagine.
Let's wrap up this little topic here. And I know that we got Alpha and Chris. They probably want to chime in on this video that we played. So let's do that, and then we'll go to the other video. Alpha, let's go to you first. You've been sitting there a long time. Alpha? Wake up. Put the cheeseburger down. All right, Alpha must be doing something else. Chris, come on in and let me hear your thoughts.
When you look at and watch someone like herself breaking everything down very eloquently and with a sense of humor,
Yep.
that placates the fact that what she's saying is true. She's speaking in truth. Now, whether it bothers you or not, it's still the truth.
Yep.
If it bothers you and say, she don't know what she's talking about, that's because she's speaking to your mind and soul, because it's the truth.
Yeah, you don't
So
want to hear
having
it.
said all that, they don't want to hear it, right? Even though the truth is good for you, people don't want to hear it because it's not the truth that they're accustomed to. You know, I think certain people want to be lied to tell the truth because, you know, a lie can comfort you, make you feel better, make you feel well. It all depends on who's receiving the message.
Well, I think
And
the
when I
only
was receiving
reason
the
I
message,
disagree, Chris, is I don't mean to interrupt you, but she did say
It's too late.
they went after you got the blacks in Africa because the Indians refused to be slaves, and that's not true. So that was the only reason, the only part I had with what she was saying, because
Well,
it was horrible what they've
but
done.
she did at the end say the things, the contributions and what have you,
Yeah.
and she was feeling
And I'm
for
sorry
the
for
Native
interrupting
Americans as well. So that wasn't a slap against the natives at all. She in fact embraced their mere existence.
No, I was only
as
saying
well.
what she had said when she said they went and brought Africans over here because the Indians wouldn't be their slaves. She did say that.
Well, yeah, but not all
So
were willing to
I'm
do
just
that.
saying I've watched this before, and what she's saying is the truth, because a lot of things you eat nowadays they gave to the slaves, which was waste.
Yeah, the stuff that the throwaway stuff.
Yeah.
No, go ahead, Chris.
That's all right. No,
I'm sorry. I just wanted to correct everybody on that.
Well, I know. I heard you the first time, and I understand.
okay.
You know, you have a passion for your
Well, I'm
people.
Native
We
American.
all do. So,
yeah.
all right. I know that.
Not that I
So I
lived
know you have a
back
passion.
then.
I understand, but I understand your passion, and once again, I accept your apology. The thing about it is, usually, traditionally, when we see a president, he usually has a way of making people come together in tragedy and in controversy and in hurt. We've seen it in past presidents, even presidents don't really care for or did not vote for. When that time to ascend the presidency and to heal the nation, they've done their jobs. You go from Kennedy all the way to President Barack Obama. This man is evil incarnate. And I hate to go there, but it's true. Because he would rather disseminate you, North Korea, NFL players, NBA players, because he has this deep hatred. And see, once again, back in the day, this is the behavior that a group of white people had. And they put it upon the rest of us because they were in charge and they had the power.
Right.
So when a certain person echelons or gets to a certain power, they're not going to change. This is who they are. So once again, we should not be surprised of what 45 is doing. Trump showed you his orange yas during the campaign trail. He told you who he was.
Yep.
And still got elected. So when people sit back and say, "Oh my," he said, "No, he told you who you was from the beginning."
Exactly.
So
there was no secret
what we're
about
seeing
that.
here, exactly. So what we're seeing here, unfortunately, is a man who cannot even heal thyself, let alone heal a nation.
That's right.
And we're up against strange times here, where in the roundabout way, this can bring us closer together as people, not as blacks, not as whites, but human beings. Because in the scale of the whole thing, you could be pro your own, but not anti anything else.
Exactly. Alpha, are you still there? I see you're muted. I wanted to have you chime in on what we're talking about here before we move on to a different topic. And little Frankie jumped in, but she jumped back out.
So, hey, Lee.
Yes, sir.
Here's my opinion on what we're talking about right now. You see, first of all, Trump is not a politician. He's not a politician. He sees things the way he sees them because he's lived the way he lived, and he's been very successful in life. And when he ran for president, there are a lot of people that them rednecks was jumping out of trees going to vote. They did not want to see that woman in there after 8 years of that brother.
True.
So they wanted to change this, and we made a mistake because 46% of the African-American registered voters across the country didn't vote. So what you got? You ain't got nothing to say. You didn't step up when it was time
I agree.
to step up.
Yep.
And this man is now doing what the people who put him in there want him to do. Most people, most decent, understanding people, don't like what he's doing. But them people who jumped out them trees and went to vote for him in Alabama, Georgia, Virginia, Tennessee.
That we have not addressed yet.
Might have been some voter tampering, but the biggest part to me that sticks with me is when you got 46% of the people who were registered to vote didn't vote. You ain't got nothing to say.
And did a lot of Latins vote for Trump, if I understood?
A little higher than expected, but I don't think it was any overwhelming.
Oh,
if I
they
remember
said
correctly.
it was. I guess I'm...
Well, if they did,
I have sisters that voted him, and I don't understand that.
Well, they bought the okie-doke. So here's the bottom line, and I think Chris kind of touched on it, but let me just amplify it just a little bit. The reality is very simple. The things that Crystal Tucker brought out in her video, many of those things are not taught in our educational system. They don't want to teach that. So if you are surprised, those are the things that I've been doing most of my life. Because fortunately enough, I was around people, and in the all-black high school that I went to, Booker T. Washington High School in Norfolk, Virginia, it was taught. But a lot of it was not in the history books. that we were supposed to be taught from.
Got it.
So the reality is, those of you who go, oh, my God, I didn't know that, it's no surprise to me because it wasn't taught in your schools.
Right.
Intentionally. They didn't want you to know these facts about the contributions, major contributions that African Americans have made.
I think that movie Hidden Figures brought out a lot. And it was one of your top grossing movies. When people learned what they went through,
of course,
what they did. But Native American history isn't taught at all. They do have Black History Month. And that's what they do the whole month.
And you know what?
We don't have nothing taught. We're
but
just
the
savages.
Native Americans need to stand up and fight for that.
We do stand up.
I don't think you're fighting enough. And I'm here to help you.
Because we're not out shooting people?
No. See, you always take it to an extreme.
I'm telling you, when we
No.
pipeline,
Listen to me.
Let me finish.
No, I'm not going to let you finish because you're not going to
shoot at people. They were taking and tasering our people recently.
Yes.
So
yes.
don't act like we're ignorant.
I'm not saying that. Don't take offense to what I'm saying.
I
support your fight. I'm saying
but quit acting like we don't.
No, I don't. In my opinion, the Native Americans have been beat down so fucking bad. It's a shame, and they have succumbed to the threats of these people who don't want you to succeed. I'm on your side.
I don't think we've succumbed.
I will die fighting for the Native Americans, okay, before anybody else.
So you don't think your people have succumbed, some of them?
Of course. So absolutely. No. One thing has nothing to do with the other. And that's a weak argument with me. I will say that I've been in southern states, and there's still black people, my people, walking around looking down at the goddamn sidewalk because they're afraid, because the fear has been passed down through generations.
Well, recently,
I will say that because I've experienced it.
Recently, they found somebody.
And I'm saying the same thing has happened with American Indians.
Yes.
And you've been put into little fucking communities where there's no real value in the land. All the minerals and oils and natural resources have been sucked out or never been there in some cases. And that's a shame. It's criminal. I'm fighting for you, not against you.
Look what they're doing to them in North
Dakota
say
this.
today.
They didn't give us, some of us, like my reservation, there's nothing there on there. I'm from Pine Ridge, South Dakota, and
there's nothing there, right?
There's nothing there. They give
That's
us
my point.
wastelands.
That's my point.
I have land I make $3 a month off of because they signed a 200-year lease.
It's criminal.
So when they took our land, Palm Springs, luckily, they make a lot of money. There's other tribes that I have friends.
The tribes down in Florida do well. Yeah.
They make a fortune.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of us Indians left. Most
But-
of them are like we have something else.
Even the Indians that are making decent money from the reservations, it's still not enough for the pain and suffering that they went through.
Oh, no, because everything here is theirs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For anybody to receive a damn check.
Well, in Montana, they don't like any race. You can't be Jewish. They hate me. I'm Indian. I came here. I didn't want nobody to know what I was.
Yeah.
Because that's the life I lived.
That's a shame.
I hated how I looked.
But see, that they instill that into your mind, and that's criminal.
Because only white is right.
That's right.
Well, they're not.
And listen, folks.
I know that, but that's
not.
what they've been pumping for a long time.
Exactly.
I actually thought we could fight them because there's more of us minorities, but it doesn't seem to be happening.
Well, the reality is very simple. In the next 20 years, minorities will be the majority population versus being minorities anymore. And
God, you're right.
The census statistics predict this already. The Asian rim, that's not just Japanese and Chinese and all that, but Indians from India. All of that is part of the Asian rim. And those are the people that are coming here in mass, and they're having children, and they're going to be the majority population in this country. So one day...
Them Latinos dropping babies, boy, they dropping them.
Yeah, but they're not the biggest threat anymore and they're being used as a whipping post, the victim right now, and being accused of being the villain. But that's not what the majority of the people should be concerned about at this point, meaning the white race.
Did you notice how many people are standing up for the guys, like the owners of the teams? And people, it's like people are trying to unite. Get this asshole out of office.
Well, that's what I hope and pray for. So the reality is these racist white people and some other minorities who have been brainwashed to hate the Latinos. You're stupid.
I don't hate them.
I don't hate anybody.
Me either.
But the reality is,
just because they're Latinos.
Right.
Hey, if you ever been to Mexico, I don't blame them for being here. If you ever been to Mexico, and I have. It's beautiful down there. From the land standpoint, the grass, the trees, the mountains and stuff is beautiful. But ain't nobody down there got no money. There's two classes of people there: the real rich who control the environment, and the poor people. Them people living in shacks.
Yep.
So they risking their life coming across the border.
Well, that's the environment he's trying to set, though.
Right.
No, we're not going to let it happen.
Look at all the people homeless, and a lot of people are homeless because they can't afford these rents that nobody's making them freeze on. I mean, every year their rent goes up higher and higher. So more and more people live in the streets. He is trying to create that. People that were considered maybe rich before aren't even really middle class now.
That's right.
It just doesn't work.
Especially in California.
Yes.
Yeah, very bad.
Rents are horrible.
California and the Bay Area is. I read I saw it on TV the other day where 37% of the people, middle class people, are leaving Southern California because they can't afford the $3,000 a month rent.
That's right. I mean, if you bought a house in certain neighborhoods here in Southern California 20 years ago, and let's say you paid $250, $350 for it, today that house is worth $1.5 to $2, sometimes $3 million if you've done something to it.
Correct.
Now, let's say your house, you could sell it today for $3 million. What are you going to do with the $3 million in Los Angeles?
Leave the state.
That's what I'm leading to.
No. In Los Angeles, you're just gonna move next door. But if you take that $3 million,
but then you got a $2.5 million note if you don't pay cash for it. So you're right back to zero. And a bigger mortgage than you had before.
Then the government wants a big portion of that money.
Well,
if you don't go buy, so you got to leave the state and go buy where you can get something cheaper.
It depends on your age. Now, I'll tell you something. Lee Michaels knows this. I get around. I'm getting ready to go to Texas Friday. I get around the country and the way I get around, flying my own airplane, I go into these little towns that I wouldn't go to if I was on a commercial plane.
Right.
And you see things like I was in Greenville, Mississippi 6 months ago. This guy's got a beautiful house. It got to be 4,000 square feet with a horseshoe driveway. And his house is $300,000.
and probably sitting on a nice piece of land.
Oh,
nice sized land.
He got 1.5 acres of land.
Now, translate that to the value of that same house, same layout, anywhere in L.A.
$3 million.
Okay.
It's $3 million.
Even Atlanta's getting high.
Yeah. And the other thing that I see on all these small towns that, I hate this, I swear to God I hate it. You go to Raleigh, North Carolina, all of these towns, you see CVS, you see Home Depot, you see Lowe's, you see, what's the one with that Target? Target.
Target.
All of these stores in these small towns and run all them small businesses out of business.
Absolutely. The little mom and pop hardware stores and restaurants and all of that, a lot of them have been run out of business because of the big franchise units coming in and sucking up all
That's happening here?
Everywhere. It's not just, it's all over the United States of America, even in Jiblipi, Mississippi, population 100,000.
Right.
The same thing is happening. Everywhere.
But my point is, you could sell your house here and go to Mississippi and live like a king.
Yeah, but who wants to live in Mississippi?
Huh?
That's
who
true.
Wants to live in Mississippi?
Costa Rica is sounding better to me.
Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. When you look
Panama.
at Mississippi and you ride around there, the worst part of Mississippi is its reputation. But that's a nice-looking place. If you,
Yeah, it is some beautiful spots. I drove through there about two and a half years ago.
Yeah.
Moving from Florida to Las Vegas, and there's some beautiful land through there.
Ain't no question.
And the mindset
The
might
whole-
be still a bit behind, but
Yeah, they
You know.
behind, and the worst thing about Mississippi is their reputation.
Mhm.
But they're not what they used to be 40 years ago. They had to
Right.
change. Now,
exactly.
they're still racist, but they can't do what they used to do.
Well, they're trying. They're trying to
Right.
turn back the hands of time.
Well, that's what they did when they got put Trump up in there.
That's right. Now, Frankie, he looks like you're connected here, but talk to him. Let's see what you sounded like here, because I hear you.
Sounds like somebody with Tourette's keeps
Yeah.
coming in. I mean, I'm not being mean. I keep hearing that happened to me one day, Frankie. I was sitting at a table and nobody told me. And I heard them making this sound. I said, oh, my daughter does that. They go, oh, she's Tourette's. I said, no. I said, she cleans her ears. She makes this sound, and they go,
Yeah.
I didn't know she was Tourette's, the girl,
Yeah.
when I said that.
So, Frankie, what's going on? What's your thought on what we've been talking about?
Oh, well, I think the reality is,
You don't have your headset on, do you?
why am I echoing?
You're what?
Echoing.
Okay, I have no idea what you're saying.
Echoing.
You don't
is
understand what I'm saying?
What is
It's
that? I don't know.
echoing.
What is that?
Echo, like your voice coming back at you?
Oh, echoing. Okay. I thought you
I don't
had
have
a
Tourette's,
location.
man.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Anyways, I think the reality is that we have all suffered. Whether you're Latino, white, black, Chinese, Japanese, Jewish, we all have suffered in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And the reality is, until we learn how to respect one another, nothing's going to change. Nothing is going to change.
Well, I think
right,
it will
lady.
change because you have kids nowadays. It used to be you'd see some ugly kids, but you don't now because they're all mixed with different things. I mean, I go into Costco's, I see kids mixed with your Asian.
I understand, Lee.
So what I'm trying to say is, it is
You
going
used
to
to see
change.
some ugly children.
It is, yeah. There used to be ugly kids. Now let's be for real.
Oh, God.
My neighbor used to have a kid that looked like a potato head. But you don't see those kind of children now. You see beautiful children.
Why?
Because
It's
they're
just because of
mixed.
mixed race,
They
you're
don't
saying.
have. They're not just white or they're not just Asian. People. This new generation, they just date whoever they fall in love with, and so you see so many kids that have different races. Eventually, it'll be a yellow or a brown race, a race that isn't just one race. That's who's going to take over.
Well, it's not going to happen in your timeline. That's not going to happen in Lee's timeline. And it may not happen in mine.
Well,
Hey,
it's happening
leave me
now,
out of this.
though. Most kids I know are mixed. My son. My
Take
son's
it easy
Oh, my
with
God.
the old jokes.
My son's Japanese, black, Native American, and Russian.
That's a hot
And I'm
mix.
Japanese and Brazilian.
Yeah,
I'm a Jazillion.
Well, you know, when it comes to that, I got two daughters, and this subject is on my mind more than it probably should be. But I'm an African American and grew up as an African American, and I'm an old one, so my thoughts are real culturally strong. But today, where my daughters are and where they live, it's going to be hard for them to find a black guy that they are going to want to be with, and because they're college educated, they want something out of life, and I'm looking around at so much trouble across the country with these black kids on drugs and stuff like that. I don't know where they're going to find a husband. I think they're going to have to wind up with a Japanese husband.
Let me just say this as well. You have a beautiful wife and you have two gorgeous daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So I hope you got 5 shotguns up in the house because you need them.
I just
protect
want
your-
them to get
your
a
wife
decent guy.
and
here's
your
my
daughters.
Point. Here's my point, Lee. I used to, about 5-6 years ago, I wanted them to find a good black guy. Now, I just want them to find a good, decent man.
Yeah.
that cares for them and they care for
all
each
right.
other.
Well, that's really the bottom line.
That's like I had a Chinese kid living with me, and his dad calls him one day. I want you to date. And he says to him, and the kid came out and told me, he goes, he wants me to date a black woman. I said, she'll beat your ass. I said, why? He goes, oh, because they're very strong.
Very strong. And he's
You
very
know what
weak.
I like,
He's a
though?
weak guy.
Funny.
Prince Andrew, the girl he's with, she's mixed.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah.
I don't know how they feel about
Well,
it, but
you know-
she's beautiful and she's educated.
There are very, very few bloodlines anymore that doesn't have something in
No,
us.
that's
you know?
what I'm saying.
And I'm going to do the DNA test on myself, but I know shit in my own family bloodline. My first wife was African American, but I think she has some white blood in her line too, because her grandmother, who basically raised her, if you met her, you would have thought she was a white woman. She's your complexion, Carol. And so that leads me to believe that, that's what's happening there. Now, and then my second wife is Mexican, and my third wife is white. So in my blood, I have a child with each one of them. And y'all hear me joking about the 37 wives and all that stuff. It's not. I've only been married 3 times. But it sounds better when you say 37 or 43, and it's just more humor to it.
Yeah.
But those are the realities. So when I look at my children and my grandchildren, I don't see one specific race. I don't even see them in any other light than these are my beautiful children
Well, that's
and
what
beautiful
I was trying to say.
grandchildren.
There won't be a barrier.
And it's not because of anything other than those children are a part of me. Period. Whatever that is, whatever that's going to be, they're a part of me.
Right.
And I can't hate them and anybody like them. I can't hate them either. I don't hate anybody other than our president. And maybe hate might be a little strong, but I really
No, it's not strong.
I really dislike this man because of his character. Because of what he portrays is not American. It is not healthy.
It's frightening.
It is.
He is.
Baby, do you
But he is, whether you like it or not, he is who elected him.
As well.
Yeah, they went to the polls and they voted him in.
Birds of a feather
people
flock
that never
together.
voted. I even believe he paid people to go to that game in Arizona. He bought tickets. He bought it
Nothing would surprise me.
because they were in there booing and that. but
Yeah. Well, there's some real diehard people that feel the way he feels.
I don't know how anybody could be racist because I'm not racist against anybody. Now, there's people I don't like in all races that are mean and nasty, but it has nothing to do with color. It's just the person.
Yep.
Ma'am, let me give you something you just made me think of, and I ain't gonna take too long, but I'm gonna run it to you.
Okay.
I went to Solvang, California.
I love Solvang.
Huh?
I love Solvang.
It's a beautiful place, but I went there with a friend of mine, and my friend that was with me is a dark-skinned black man, no question. And him and I, you've been to Solvang on Sunday between 8 o'clock in the morning and about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Everybody comes out. They come downtown to the restaurants and the shops and stuff like that. It's a great place to go and have brunch and stuff like that.
Right.
So my friend and I were walking down the street, and here comes a lady with 2 kids. The boy looked real like sheepish, you know what I mean?
Right.
She didn't expect this kid to say this. So we did, we just didn't do nothing, just kept on walking by him and stuff. But I never forgot that. Now, where do you think that kid got that from? He
The
was
dinner
7.
table.
Huh?
The dinner
At the dinner
table.
table. And now here's the other point. Where do you think he going to be when he's 20 years old?
Unless somebody gets in his head and gets him to understand the fear that he obviously expressed is not real, he will live the rest of his life with that misconception.
Exactly.
Mhm.
That's my point.
Yep.
That's my point. So
And that's unfortunate.
it is unfortunate for him, yeah.
Absolutely.
But it's going on all around us.
That's right. Let's welcome to the show Apollo. What's happening, buddy?
What it is, bro?
Everything's good?
Damn, what the hell is that noise? Sound like a damn
I
computer
hear
is having
like
sex.
gurgling or
Yeah,
something.
that's Frankie.
That's Frankie. Let me
yeah.
turn her down with
Yeah,
her section
just
computer.
That's Frankie Crocker.
section.
You know,
She's on.
Hey, Lee.
Are you on a phone or laptop or what, Frankie?
I'm on the source connect.
You're what?
I don't know what that shit is.
Sounds like she's
The source
underwater.
connect.
I have no idea what you're saying.
Well,
You got to you got to put some earbuds or your headset or something on
Well,
because
then answer your phone, okay?
Bye.
I told you I can't answer the phone until the other line drops because you'll call in on the dirty line. And if you're going to talk
dirty line?
dirty, if you're going to talk dirty, then I can take you on that line.
Okay, I'll be happy.
It's okay. All right, go ahead, Apollo. I had to mute her. I'll bring you back.
I
Frankie.
tell you what, I turned on the TV yesterday. I ain't seen that many cowboys on their knees since Brokeback Mountain.
That's funny. Even
You
the
know?
head cowboy.
Yeah. And he worth twice as much as Trump. You know, he's about 5.8 billion. Trump
You're
ain't
right.
but about 3 billion.
Maybe. We don't know how much he's worth.
But you know, we march, they get mad.
Yeah.
We sit down, they get mad. We speak up, they get mad.
Yep.
We kneel, they get mad. We die, they get silent.
Yeah, it's Apollo.
Ain't that a bitch?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you know, it's a twisted mindset that a lot of people, too many Americans have, and their twisted view of reality. When you try to teach them the facts, they don't want to accept them because they never was taught that in school or at home in their neighborhoods. So when you come to them with some real truth today, they can't accept it. They go, well, how could that possibly be? They're
They
in
want to
denial.
twist shit. I mean, they want to twist shit. You know, Trump called them Nazis. Well, in that group, there were some very fine people. But if you kneel, you's a bunch of sons of bitches.
Yeah, now, if somebody calls him a SOB, I'm
He's
sure
a
he would
white
be outraged.
supremacist, racist Yankee cracker.
No,
That's all he
I
is.
think he thinks he's on The Apprentice.
I'm
No,
not going
he just
to even
likes
accept that.
being on the news headline every day, whether it's good or bad. He just likes to control
the
the
narrative.
media.
Yeah.
He don't care if it's good or bad. Hey, they're talking about me. I'm a narcissist. I love it. I'm a little kid who pitches a tantrum, whether it's good attention or bad attention. I'm the center of attention.
But you know what's funny, you guys? All races teach racism. I've been out with my ex, who's very, very dark, and as Lee said, I'm very, very pale. And
I hope his youngest daughter marries the blackest man she can find. Because she got a little bit of Democrat in her, you know.
Who's that?
His youngest daughter, the one that's
Oh.
about 21. Or,
Oh, okay.
I hope she marries Seal or somebody. Just get as black as she can get.
That would be funny if she busts up in the Thanksgiving dinner or the Christmas dinner.
Yeah.
With a black
Absolutely.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Official.
Swinging a big Zulu rattlesnake. Just let me lay this on the
Mandingo.
table. Hold on.
He would throw
Look
up
how
his
big
turkey.
my hands are, Daddy.
That's funny.
Oh, he is funny.
Yeah. Yeah, he's our resident funny guy. Well, you know,
Money to Robert Mueller and get him so he can fly on private jets like Steve Mnuchin, so he can be focused and get good rest.
right?
We need a Robert Mueller political action committee to
Why is
lock
that?
her up.
Okay, just stick them in the plug, and I'll come back in a second to see if you're.
You know, I think
straighten out.
history is going to be good to like Colin Kaepernick. I mean, if you go back in the 60s when Muhammad Ali wouldn't go fight in Vietnam, of course they were all over his ass. But history, well, I think we'll see the goodness in what's going on right now.
No question, and it may
Yeah.
even, in fact, bring the country closer together, because without this kind of discussion, it won't be talked about. And it unfortunately needs to be talked about. It needs to be brought to the forefront. And I need to Colin Kaepernick for what he did, because he made people talk about it. Okay?
I don't know how true this is, but I heard that before 2009,
it is true,
did not stand for the national anthem. They stayed in the locker room.
That is true.
The custom didn't start until the Department of Defense gave the NFL $5.4 million to stage on-field ceremony.
True.
Team Seymour Patriot. So we didn't even stand for the national anthem until the government paid us to do it.
Well, see, it wasn't to make it look more patriot. It was to encourage enlistment into the military, to make it a big deal. That's why they advertise on radio and television and magazines and newspapers and all of that. And if you notice, every time we get into a scrimmage, you see more join the Army, join the Marines, the Navy, the Coast Guard, the Air Force. You never notice that. See, I've been around long enough to notice that. So stand by, ladies and gentlemen, because of a fury of new ads. She doesn't sound that way to me.
Hey, Lee.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to tell you something about the military. I've been around a long time, was in the military for 2.5 years, and I just left. I couldn't stand it. I just left. And I had to pay a price for that, stockade and all that kind of stuff, undesirable discharge, and I am not unhappy about it at all. When I look at the military, the whole motivation behind the military is money. Big people make a lot of money every time we go to war. Look at the war there with Bush. $1 billion a month was spent, American taxpayers paid for this war. And every time we have a war, people don't know this, but DuPont makes a fortune. People think that that's a chemical company. DuPont is the #1 explosive maker in the world. I mean, the whole world. And they supplied the military with all of the explosives. What's that Levi company? Levi's. Levi's makes the
uniforms?
The uniforms for the not the dress uniforms, the fighting uniforms.
Fatigues,
For the fatigues for the military, they make that.
I didn't know that.
Boeing, all these people making these jets and this stuff like this. When I first came up with this back in the 70s, and I was like to read books about successful people because I wanted to know how they fought. Howard Hughes made 7,437 Huey helicopters for the Vietnam War. It cost him $1 million a Huey, but he sold them to the government for $3 million a piece. It's all about money, man.
Absolutely.
And then when they pump up, and watch this, they pump up, join the military, join the military. Now, people who fall for this are middle-class, suburban, and small-town people. They fall for it. Back in the day, black people was going to the Army when I went. I mean, you're right, man, whatever your name is.
Apollo.
Apollo, right. Muhammad Ali stood up for us, and he paid 3 years of his life for it, but he was so right. And I just think going to the military for a middle-class person, and especially if you're black, is some of the dumbest stuff you can do. I'm through.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Is Chris on here?
Yeah, Chris is there.
Are you there, Chris?
Yes, I am.
I want to apologize for interrupting you because I'm going to leave now.
He already accepted your apology.
Okay, well, I'm apologizing again because I don't like that.
Apologizing again?
I
accept your apologies.
I don't like it when people do it to me, so I'm apologizing to you.
That's
I really
nice
don't.
to you, lady. You're a nice lady.
Yeah, so I'm apologizing.
You ain't been around long.
Apollo, why don't you go get a bird bath? Maybe you haven't had one in a while.
I had one yesterday. Thank you.
Okay, well, maybe it wasn't enough.
Was that
Why
advertisement
don't you go
put
wash
on my
your
page?
dildo so your dog don't care about it?
Why? I probably have a man like you to clean it for me.
Oh, Lord, here we go. Must be towards the end
You
of the
clean
show.
these nuts with
It
your
is.
tonsils.
Do you have nuts?
Now, y'all must be friends talking to each
No.
other like that.
They've never met
No,
each other,
they're
but they
not.
love
Never
each
met
other.
him. I don't like him.
Apollo want to have
Yeah, she loved me at
a
first,
relationship.
I
and then
like
she
him.
started
I like him.
drinking wine with her girlfriends and said, "Fuck him."
No, the funny thing is, I'm like Lee. I do not drink.
Yeah. I would
Well,
love
you
to.
might need to.
I'd probably end
I'd
up
like to
with
see
someone
her
like
drunk.
you if I did.
Let's get her drunk. When's your birthday?
I don't drink, you guys. Nothing
When is
will
your
make
birthday?
me drink. Maybe I'll smoke a joint, but
When
I'm not
is your
drinking.
birthday?
Smoke a joint. I'll just do some illegal shit. I won't drink.
It isn't illegal. This is California.
I don't drink either.
Wait a
I've
minute.
never been drunk.
When is your birthday?
I just had a birthday. You don't remember?
No, I'm
Didn't you give
old
me
and
a
seasoned.
Yeah, we both did.
Yeah,
You didn't
yeah, I
give me
did.
a gift?
Didn't I? Yeah.
I don't remember if you did. You
I
didn't.
think I took
Nobody
you to
got
lunch
me
You know,
or
he's a
something.
man. We don't remember that stuff.
Really? It was yesterday, right?
No, August 6th.
We
Yeah,
keep
that was a
a
long time
wrapped
ago.
gift in the closet just in case.
Yeah.
Not.
Actually, Lee gives me stuff all the time. He buys
do.
me phone cords and
Yeah, I take care of her.
little things I need.
Yeah, I mean, we all come in here. We don't make any money, so the least I can do is to do little things to help her. You
And
know?
I take him out to eat, and he
and I
takes
take
me
you out to lunch. Yep.
I'm cheap, though, because I do
Yeah,
a
she
dollar
is cheap.
taco.
Yep. That is she
And
is.
he gets me on those days.
Yep. she'll eat $2 worth of tacos, and then take 2 home. Oh, gee whiz,
But his-
really? The
but
little
when-
tiny things.
He's lucky because, see, I'm a cheap date.
Yeah.
What, they got White Castle tacos out there?
No,
Get
we
little
have what
tiny
they call
tacos?
Tuesday Taco Day.
Taco Tuesday.
Anybody that lives in California knows about it. You
Yeah.
go anywhere and you get dollar
Little-
tacos.
Yeah, but they're little tiny taco things. They're like maybe
Yeah.
3 inches, 3.5 inches. I want the full size
Right.
taco. Damn the dollar. I want the real deal.
Yeah, give me a real taco.
Yeah. Give me the full
Yeah, I know.
size.
20 of them
Apollo.
little ones. You get 20 of them little
I have
ones right
offered
there.
him tacos for 2 days now. I made some chicamole,
Uh-huh.
and I make the best chicamole tacos. But he told me to bring him in. I said, no, tacos, if they're going to be hard shell, they need to be eaten right then.
Crispy.
You know, they have
Yeah.
to be crispy.
Oh, God. Well, see,
What the hell Frankie laughing at?
she's laughing probably at the same thing I'm laughing at. Like, I'm going, I don't give
I
a damn
want you
if they're
both,
crispy
all
or
of you,
not.
to stop saying taco.
I don't care.
You counting how many times they say taco?
Yeah, right.
And Carol talking about she don't want to put it in her mouth
Oh, I'm
unless it's
surprised
hard.
Apollo hasn't said anything. I swear to God.
Carol only wants them in their mouth if they're hard, she said.
No, I only eat the soft shell most of the time.
Okay.
I know what
No,
you're trying
nothing
to
hard
say,
in your
but I'm
mouth.
just ignoring you. You know,
Hell, I was being good, though Frankie woke up my inner...
you're never good.
Yeah, right. Blame it on Frankie.
I was just listening. I hear Frankie having some kind of PTSD laugh attack, and I didn't know what the hell was going on in the background.
Well, see, you got to listen to the show. We had a great show today. Very
Without me,
informative.
that's great.
Yeah, no, you came in and put the butter on the bread.
That little butter on your biscuit.
It's all my
Yeah.
fault.
Yeah.
A little butter.
So I don't know what happened to Alpho. He was in here almost from the beginning of the show, but he was on mute the whole time. And every time I went to him, he didn't say anything. So then he dropped out. So I don't know what's up with him.
Well,
Right.
Apollo and Chris are still here.
Yeah, Chris.
I know you need Chris Bass. in the
Did
place.
Ron hang up?
Yeah, Ron's gone. That was that crazy noise. He
Yeah,
he
I'm
never
here.
says goodbye. He just hangs up.
Nobody's on here anymore. It's Apollo's
I'm
gone
here.
and Chris is gone.
Yeah.
Hello.
No, I'm here.
Where did Chris go? He's
He's
here.
here.
Can y'all not
I'm
hear me?
surprised.
We hear you.
Oh,
yeah.
there you are.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
I've
here.
been talking
Maybe I'm
shit.
not on.
Everybody's on. You guys just, I don't know why you can't hear yourself. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, man. We missed what Apollo had to say.
Yeah.
I didn't know the World Trade Center was open again.
Yeah.
Well, they're saying there's a guy unstuck in an elevator at the World Trade Center. Filmed a scary scene Tuesday morning. It was water flooding into the darkened lift.
Mm.
And people are they still trapped?
I don't know. I hadn't seen that headline.
Oh, they're trapped between floors.
No, the president was doing a live.
Yeah, I showed you that, but you didn't really look.
I don't
But
give
we
a
didn't
damn.
want to hear it.
He's talking to the Prime Minister of Spain.
Did
or something.
anybody see that where this lady put her little baby on the side of the freeway in a car seat?
And just left
She
it?
put $5,000 and stuff on him. Luckily, some kids coming from some type of church thing on a bus, they seen him and they noticed it wasn't a doll, it was feet. But thank God, because that baby could have got run over. But I guess she didn't want her child. But why put him on the side of the freeway?
Have they
Little girl.
identified this woman?
I think so. They're not saying much. The baby looks like she's mixed with something because she's got color on her. She might be Asian and Mexican or something. You can't tell, but they show the little girl.
I don't care what it is. A poor child left out there.
Yeah, I
abandoned.
don't understand that. Why they would.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Listen. Maybe this parent, this mother, was at a point in her life when she knew that she could not take care of this child for whatever reason.
Yeah, but
Now,
you don't
what-
put them on the side of the freeway.
I'm getting there. It's inappropriate what she did, but in the safety of this child, good that she walked away from it.
Yeah, she put
And-
$5,000 in cash.
And $5,000. Well, she obviously has access to money, but some women, fathers, are not cut out to be good parents. Unfortunately, this woman did not have a support team around her to help guide her in the right direction. If she wanted to put this child up for adoption, she should have done so. Putting this child out on the side of the road was a bad idea. Thank God
well,
this child is okay.
When they were on, they seen it and they go, "Wait, it's not a doll. The feet are moving."
Right.
But before I leave, I'm gonna tell y'all to go to a site, type in cat and man trying to catch rat. If you want to laugh for the day, Josefa, how many times did she watch it?
God.
Maybe
Yeah.
7.
This is more animal porn.
No,
it's not
it will
porn.
have
It's-
you in hysterics
it's
watching
just-
this guy.
Little weak.
You got to
chicken
watch
shit.
the
Three-way
catalog.
between a man, a bat, and a cat.
Yeah, there's a rat or a mouse,
The-
and he's telling he's going to go get the
Yeah.
him and the cat are going to catch. But
It
the
looks
funny
like they're in
thing
a
is-
bathroom.
First, though.
Yeah,
Chris.
they're in a
Man,
bathroom because it's
Okay,
a
I'll
furnace.
smoke about 3. I'm gonna bat butt you. Here we go.
It's more
I wish
fun
I
if you
could
smoke
find.
weed.
I had it,
Yeah, just
but I mean, it'll just make your day. It's
Yeah.
very funny.
yeah, it is funny. It just shows you how chicken shit this guy is.
But
over
the cat cracks you
freaking-
up.
Yeah, the rat was trying to get out of there because he was scared to death because this fool was screaming like a little 6-year-old. I never saw the rat. You say you saw it.
Yeah, it runs out.
He ran out so damn
You
fast.
hear the rat.
You don't hear
Yeah,
no
you
rat.
heard something. Even Josefa did. It's like a squeaking. But
I think that was a pet.
you have to watch the cat. That was
a
the
toy
funniest
squeaking.
thing is the cat.
Then he's trying to get out of the bathroom so fast, he closed the cat's body halfway in the door. And then he opened the door and the cat ran out. It's funny, but pathetic at the same time.
No, you have to watch the cat during all this. He climbs
He's
the door.
jumping up the wall. He's trying to get the hell out of there because this guy is scared to piss out of him with all the little whining and screaming and carrying on. I thought it was a girl at first because his voice screaming was so pitched. I thought it was a
Well,
woman.
I just think it's really
It's funny.
It makes my day when I feel down. I watch it again.
You're sick. You need help.
Well, sometimes you want to laugh.
You got a warm sense of humor.
All this stuff going on in the world,
Yeah.
you need to have a laugh.
No question. No question. We are in some tenuous times, and it just doesn't make sense, and all of that.
I don't know what that's about.
What is she?
Turkey, I'm cool.
Here we got a visitor. Come on the air with us. How are you doing? You see my face all the time at the post office, right?
Remember we went to some.
Grab that orange mic there and join us.
Who's in the room with you, Lee?
Oh, I'm about to introduce him here. Hang on a second.
Oh, it's a him.
Yeah.
Guy Black.
No, it's not Guy.
92.3, and then the whole 92.3 The Beat, Mega 100 thing happened, and met Josefa Salinas, Art LeBeau, and been rolling with the punches ever since. Hot 92.3 went off the air about over 2 years ago.
Yeah. Now, when were you at 92.3 The Beat?
Hot 92.3, man, see, that's the thing. Everybody's confused because of all the name changes, all the monikers, all the slogans and everything.
Yeah.
But I was there from early 2000s.
So, okay.
All the way till about till the end, about 2015.
Yeah, you were a baby in when The Beat came on the air.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
At the time, they had John London and the House Party and all them switch over, and then they had Steve Harvey on the other side, and then they had the George Lopez show, and everybody else.
I was with 92.3 The Beat in the beginning when it first went on the air. I was one of the consultants to help
cool.
put that together. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, everybody remembers that. The No Color Lines slogan.
That's right.
And
That's right.
yeah.
Fun times.
Good stuff, man.
It was a great radio station. And it has evolved so many times over the years. I mean, you don't know what it is anymore. It's now,
It's
real
real now.
92.3.
It's real 92.3.
Yeah, not fake. It's real.
It's real. Keeping it real.
To some
the
people.
Street.
Yeah, right.
Keeping it real as
Keeping it
iHeart
real.
can do it.
Yeah, right.
I heart, no heart, whatever you want to call them.
Right, exactly. We have the camera on
Cutter,
Jimmy now, so
corporate
you guys
radio.
can see him.
Who else is on? I hear other voices on.
Well, yeah, you got Apollo is in North Carolina. Frankie is in Northern California, and Chris is over in Chicago.
It's like the party line.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah, absolutely. It's the
Yeah,
Lee
back in the
Michaels
old
show.
days, them 976 numbers.
And
I
the
used to have
Remember
out there
that?
in LA.
cast of characters.
I used to call from Carolina. I didn't have to pay about a minute. I was breaking the law. They'd say, well, what's your crossroads? And I'd just get a map of L.A. and give them some local address.
That's hilarious.
That's funny. Yeah.
I met a chick from out there doing that shit.
No kidding.
I was just a 16-year-old. I told her I was working in radio. I was perpetrating in my bedroom with 2 turntables. And then, and like 6 years later, I was working for a record label. I was in Palm Springs and called her, and she came and, anyway.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
we know.
So Jimmy,
You know how it is.
what inspired
Yeah,
you
we
to get
know.
into the business?
What inspired me? Well, I always had something for music. After I graduated high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I went into the restaurant business and started as a line cook for Chili's and the Outback Steakhouse.
Ah,
And while I was there, I saw one of those infomercials for a radio broadcasting school, which still stands out in Huntington Beach. Went on down there and did my 9 months. Sounds like jail, huh? Did my 9 months, got my certificate, and then
It probably was.
yeah, right.
so you got a job out of that?
They had an
broadcast school.
infomercial for a broadcasting school?
I believe one of those
Yeah.
commercials, where they do
Late night.
recruitments because
Yeah.
they run ads every
Did
few
it
months.
come on after that Blue Blockers commercial back in the 90s?
It might have been.
Wear blue blockers, can't you see?
Yeah.
Remember the brother was rapping about blue blockers on the
Yeah,
beach?
that's right. I
It was
remember that
very similar to the "Hey, what are you doing sitting there on your couch" type deals, you know?
one. Yeah.
Put
You could
that
have a
bong
career in
down
radio.
and start a career.
Yeah, so most people there at the academy, they encourage you to go try to get radio jobs in the Midwest, back south. And
Yeah.
like, you'll never get a job in Los Angeles. So
Yeah.
Mega 100 popped on the scene, made a call, and started as an intern and
Work your
worked
way
my way up.
Sure. Yeah.
So
well,
right
I think
out,
that's
that's
the way
cool.
a lot of us started out. When I started out, it wasn't interns; they were called gophers.
Yeah.
You say
That's what I was doing.
yeah, you do
Exactly.
whatever they ask you,
You were on
to
the
do.
Love Boat?
It felt like it. No, but in a smaller market, that's where I started out in Virginia, Norfolk, and worked my way up. I worked every major market that I ever dreamed of, and beyond my wildest dreams, and it was fun.
While living in a record rep's house.
What was that?
I said, while living in a record rep's house and
you
programming
eat
San
me.
Diego. I'm fucking-
You and the jackass that wrote that lie. Yep.
So how can people hear this? It's on live right now?
Yeah, we're live right now on
Yeah.
Facebook and YouTube and streaming on thepowerofvoices.com.
Thepowerofvoices.com.
Worldwide.
Yep.
Sweet.
It's a sister station to Hot 92.3 The Beat.
Right.
Dot
Nice.
com.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Cool. It's my first time here at these studios. They're nice.
Yeah, not bad, huh?
Nicer than the ones I work at.
And where are you working now? At the gas station?
I'm not going to say that now after that comment.
Where are you working? The station down at the Greyhound? or what?
No. You'd be surprised, brother.
No, I know where you are.
I'm out in Ventura County. It's nice.
Yeah. I listen to you all the time.
Thank you.
Yeah, good station.
Thank you so much, man. Well, I appreciate you having me on for a little bit. Everybody, have a great day. Everybody chilling.
Yeah, that's Jimmy, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Take
Jay.
care,
Take
man.
care, buddy.
Thanks a
man.
lot.
Till next time. All right.
Bless
Peace
you.
out.
See, you never know who's going to drop in on the show.
Probably leave it with him because I'm leaving.
Yeah, I'll take care of it. Yep, yep. That's money, right? Yeah, good.
Carol's been
Yes,
leaving
heavy.
for the past 15
Yeah,
minutes.
slap Carol on the ass
Take
as
care,
you
buddy.
leave, too.
Nice
She's
meeting you.
supposed to have been leaving.
Don't forget
Yeah,
your
she can't
pizza or
leave,
the
you know.
lovely driver.
I'm leaving. I'll be gone in a little, but before I go,
I'm leaving. I got
They're talking bad about you, Carol. You need to put your headphones on.
Give me 20 tacos.
Who's talking bad about me?
The other Carol came in since you're leaving.
No, I handed him the headphones. I'll take the money.
Yeah, so you never know who's going to pop in. I mean, I didn't expect Jimmy to pop in, but it was really nice. Another radio guy, ladies and gentlemen.
He's lost a lot of weight, too.
Yeah? He used to be a big boy.
Well, you didn't tell him that while he was there.
No, he wasn't heavy. He was just bigger.
Yeah.
Talk about folk when they walk out the room.
Yeah, no. She's
He's pretty
bad.
fat. He lost a lot
No,
of weight.
I didn't say that. I said he lost a lot
Well,
of
if
weight.
he lost a lot of weight, then he obviously was fat before.
No, he
Carol.
wasn't.
Yep.
No, he
A
wasn't.
lot of weight.
How much
means
you
that
think he
were
lost?
Fat.
Exactly.
I
You
don't
should
know.
have
He
just
was
said
just,
he lost
a
weight.
little bigger than what
Yeah,
he
he
is
lost
now.
a little weight.
10 pounds?
But I haven't seen him in, 2 years, 3 years?
15 pounds?
That's a
I
bowling
went
ball.
maybe
10
about
pounds.
15.
15 pounds. That's not, I wouldn't say that's a
Well,
lot of
it
weight, but that's
shows
a
when people
substantial
lose,
amount.
yeah.
Enough for you to recognize somebody's thinner. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't
I
remember
take a
where we all
10-pound
went.
shit
We went to
sometimes, so I
something.
don't know what that means.
That's lovely.
A 10 pounder? That's
A
a
10 pounder.
Absolutely.
That's a triple flush.
The other day, I guess I've been eating too much veggies, and I thought I was going to take a Lamaze class to get that motherfucker out. I was like, God damn.
No, you need to drink more water.
I drink water all day. That's all I drink.
And it's obviously not enough. You were constipated. You were all tight, jacked up.
No, that shit was just tight. I was like,
That's called constipation.
You know how you sphincter open up and then close back like
Oh,
that? Too
Jesus
big.
Christ.
And somebody
Yeah.
wink. Nope, gotta go.
More water,
Damn.
dog. More water.
It was just.
And you
packed
say you're
right.
eating a lot of vegetables and you're all cranked up?
Yeah, I eat a lot of veggies and.
You eating a lot of
protein
bread?
And, no. No.
What kind of veggies are you eating?
Nope. I'm eating broccoli and carrots and corn and.
Get off the carrots and corn. Trust
What
me.
the fuck's left?
There's a lot of vegetables
There's
you could eat.
plenty of vegetables left. Come on now.
No carrots. I love carrots.
I do too, but I don't eat a lot of them because they can cause some issues, and especially corn. Corn is hard to digest.
Yeah, well,
That's
corn,
why
you
you're all
don't
backed
digest
up.
corn. You just shit a yellow jacket out your ass. 'cause
Well,
corn just comes right on
sometimes,
out.
sometimes it stays in your colon, up in your intestines, and
Why are we
causes a little
talking
block
about
up.
bowel movements?
Well, it's
Because
a
something
human
everybody
thing.
needs to know about.
Yeah.
She's back.
It's
She
Shit
ain't
Awareness Day on the Lee Michaels Show.
That's right.
Shit you
Bowel
should be aware
movement
of.
day?
Shit happens, and we have to talk about it.
That's
There you
right.
Shit
go.
happens. Okay.
If you don't,
Yo, you see
you'll
all these
die.
old World War II white war veterans that are kneeling now? I
Oh,
love it.
really? I
Yeah,
haven't
a
seen
lot
that.
of old white men kneeling with their hand, their fist up. I love that.
Well, they should, because you know what? And we talked about it earlier during the show. What Colin Kaepernick was trying to bring to light was the whole issue with cop brutality. It wasn't about military. It wasn't about the flag. It wasn't anything else but that.
Exactly.
But it evolved because the message spinners, the people like Trump and all the right-wing nutball whack jobs out there, they like to take something and redirect it into something that will benefit their agenda, which is to
Hey,
perpetrate.
let me say something to you before I forget, please, because we got a few. Do you remember me telling y'all 9 months ago, and y'all thought I was some kind of nutcase, and you thought, no, that didn't happen. I told you guys that the voting machines were most likely hacked by the Russians because with the exit polling that the Harvard and Yale political science departments had Hillary at over a 90% chance of victory.
Right.
The Department of Justice came out Friday and said in 10 battleground states the voting machines were tampered with by Russian cyber criminals.
Yeah. Yep.
So they're slowly spoon-feeding us the
That's right.
data that will eventually let us know that he didn't even win the Electoral College.
I've been saying that all along. I don't believe it.
They're like, no, that didn't happen. I'm like, yeah, it did. I promise you.
Well, they had to push this thing back. And like you say, just let it dribble out, because if they told us the truth overnight, we would have to do a new election immediately. And as far as
they just give it to Hillary because she won.
Well, yeah, but that's too much like right. You know, they're not going to be that honest. They can't.
Well,
it ain't in them. They just can't do it. It would be the right thing to do. If we want to be fair, open,
and balanced,
transparent. Now, I'm not even going to say that one because that's some Fox bullshit.
Some bovine.
And by the way, I rented a car from a company called Fox. And I had a bad experience. It was a dirty car. It reeked of smoke. And they got a little sticker on the dashboard that says a $250 fine if you smoke in the car. Well, they must be making a fucking fortune on that one. The windows were dirty. Where you put your foot down to push the gas pedal and your heel hits the floorboard, it was the carpet was worn out. The car only had 55,000 miles on it, and it looked like it'd been through hell. Windows dirty, dashboard dusty. And when I turned the car in, I told the manager, and I even went to the extent of having the car washed. I bought some Febreze because the smoke smell was so thick, I couldn't even stand it. And he took my receipts.
That's pretty bad.
He took my receipts and went in the back, and I had to go because my ride was there. So I don't know what they're going to refund me or whatever. But then they had the nerve to send me a survey, and I gave them a 0 in terms of whether I would ever recommend them. And they said, well, why? That's because I explained to them the fucking filthy car. And then I gave them a long, detailed explanation. So I'm going to see if they contact. And they said, is it okay if we contact you? I said, absolutely. And I gave them a phone number. So we're going to see if Fox Rental Car will follow through and do the right thing. And I really don't care to get my money back or anything like that, but I want them to improve their service so that others don't go through what I went through.
They ain't going to do it.
Well, then don't use Fox, damn it.
Hey, let me. Did you know Trump committed a federal crime when he told NFL owners to fire the players that didn't stand?
I didn't know that was a federal crime, but
18 U.S. Code 227 stipulates that any federal employee, member of Congress, or member of the executive branch is forbidden from using their position within the federal government to influence the employment decisions of a private business solely basis of partisan politics affiliation. The penalty for doing so could result in fines and incarceration of up to 15 years, and anyone who is found guilty of violating such law could be even disqualified from holding office.
Bye, bitch.
Yeah, nothing's going to happen. Come on. Nothing's going to happen.
I'm just saying, he's such an idiot.
How many more things do we need? And I opened up the show today saying, what else does he need to do to be fired, impeached, run back to New York City to his gaudy-ass residency, and just leave, man. Just say, I quit. I don't want to do it no more. I'm fine with that. I'll be happy with that. No, he can't because
I want him to stress the hell out. I want him to have a heart attack.
Well,
he will.
Maybe he will. Maybe his ego will do that to him when he's out of office.
He will.
And nobody's paying attention to him. Mm-hmm. But I hope that's sooner rather than later. Thanks, guys, for chiming in. We appreciate you. Love you, little Frankie, Alpha, Paulo, Chris Bass, and certainly my kick in the side, Carol. We appreciate all of you and love you to death. Bye-bye. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow, 10 a.m. right here on thepowerofvoices.com, YouTube Live, and Facebook Live. We'll see you then. God bless. And let's get rid of this monkey out of the White House, please. I can't take it. monkey ass mofo out of the White House. Envelope to you? Question mark?